Okay. Hello. I got my water. I even got my little orange. Hello. Oh, God damn it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. Oh, it spilled everywhere. It's on my notes. Oh, I need a towel. Oh, God damn it. Wait, can you hear me still? I got water all over my mic thing. You guys can hear me? Okay. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. Wait, these are like important. I have to sign these. Oh, they're so wet. I have to sign these. Oh, God damn it. This is the hardest job in the world, huh? There's just never a moment's peace. I swear to God, dude. The hardest job there is. Every minute, there's some kind of insane disaster that you could not have predicted, and I certainly didn't cause. All right, well. Hello. Hello. I'm surprised you have positive energy like that. It would ruin my day. Well, that's not going to ruin my day. I mean, it did hit all my notes, though, which is kind of a pain in the neck. I'm going to fucking try those out. I just spent 2 days in Florida at a finance conference taking notes, copious notes. I haven't done that since college. I didn't even do that in college. I haven't done that since high school. I was taking copious notes, bro. I got notes, man. It's fucking... What a pain in the fucking dick. Dude, I got 2 notepads full of notes, and I stole 3 pens. They're nice pens. I stole nice pens, bro. I actually made out like a bandit. Look at these. Yoink. These are fucking nice. These are hefty. They have heft. Those pens look kind of like hot dogs. Do you guys ever think that you're way more obsessed with hot dogs than I am? Do you ever think maybe you're the glizzy goblins or whatever? Like, I don't even mention hot dogs, nor think about it. You act like I'm obsessed with them, but it's you who see hot dogs and everything. You ever think about that? Or has that not crossed your mind? That never, no, that didn't make any sense. That couldn't possibly be. Oh my God, it's just so much water. I literally spilled this full thing. What a start, dude. I spilled this. I just filled it up to the brim, sat it down, started stream. Oh, golly. Golly, dude. Anyway, how the hell are you guys? How the hell are you? How was your Tuesday, Wednesday? Huh? It's an obvious spilling hazard. It's actually not. It's actually not. The problem is this mic arm smacked it. You know, it's like I'm not gonna knock over a cup normal. There are hot dogs everywhere for those with eyes to see them. Right, but what I'm saying is maybe you have those eyes and I don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's you who are obsessed with glizzies, and I have been falsely accused of having eyes to see them. Do you know? It doesn't make sense. Melvin is me. They have 24 months. Baby Keem album tonight. Is Kendrick on it? I'm asking the real questions. Is Kendrick on the Baby Keem album? Because if not, I might not be so quick. Oh, yes? Interesting. Holy Pangolin, thank you for that gifted. My God, thank you. I will be able to hire a towel. I'll be able to finally buy a towel to get rid of all this water. McCreary, thank you for the 5 months. Rosso, thank you for the 48 months. Seth Boutillier, thank you for the 7 months. Atrioc, can I get my last time shot or Tapic choice? What was your last chat message? Let's see. You said, have you covered Mr. Beast on Hot Ones? Nah, that's not. I've not. No interest in that coverage. Big House, Florida. So yeah, okay. So I've been gone. I've been in Florida for this finance conference. I have a couple stories from my time there. Here's what I'll say at high level. So I went out there because some of the people whose Substacks I read, or whose interviews I've followed, or whose books I've read, would be speaking or part of the conference or attending. And my goal was to get them to consider being a guest on Big A or Lemonade Stand, because I think they have really interesting insight on the world, financially and otherwise, and I want to talk to them. Okay? That was my goal. That's my goal going in. So there was 3 guests I had in mind specifically. I was like, I want to get, these are 3 people I want to overcome any, I'm not a shy person, but I'm like, I don't want to like walk up to a stranger in the middle when they're talking to someone else and be like, hey, can I ask you to do a show? I don't love that. So I had to overcome that for these 3 people. That was my goal. So here's what I'll tell you. I'll give you some stories, but 2 of them, get ready for this, unequivocally said yes. They gave me their email. They said they're interested. They said email. Let's talk. I'm down. Okay. One of them gave me the frostiest no. One of them gave me a frosty, an icy no, dude. So it's 2 out of 3. It's 2 out of 3. I'm not saying who. So we did get a frosty no. So, but 2 out of 3 means, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it because I thought it might be 0, especially when I showed up. Let me see if I got a picture. Because I want to give you guys a sense of what this was like. But first, let me show you the picture that really says 1,000 words. For anyone still on the original Atrioc Discord server, which hasn't been used because we went to the ACLU one, I just rando posted a fit check. I just rando posted a fit check in the announcements of that server. Here, you can see it right here. Haven't really done a mirror selfie in a while. You can see it right here. A lot of reactions, 44 of which are the shit emoji. 67 are the clown. There's coffee, there's cow, there's thumbs down. There's explode, dead. Anyway, let's see if I can full screen. Okay. So this is I think this is a sheesh moment. I don't appreciate. I think this is a sheesh moment. And my expression's a little millennial, but there's no good way to take a mirror selfie. Okay? There's no good way to take a mirror selfie. Obama coded. So that's my first reaction, is you guys are saying tan suit. It's not tan. It's not a tan suit. You think I'd disrespect the country like that? You think I'd show up like as a terrorist adjacent tan suit? No, this is a gray suit. It's a gray suit. Okay? It's millennial gray. If anything, I wanted to mog the boomers there with a classic millennial gray. You don't wear ties? Let me tell you something a little bit. Let me say something about fashion, which I'm an expert on. I wear my own merch every day. Let me tell you about fashion. Okay? When you're at a finance conference in Florida, you need to wear something a little breezy. You can't be it's business casual, indoor, outdoor, mixer. A tie is not going to do it. All right? This was perfect. And by the way, I'm just telling you, It was perfect. Okay, this was a perfect. I was not overdressed. I was not underdressed. I had no problems. Anything I looked and felt good. Also, look at this. I fixed my mistakes from the past. Eat your heart out, Gavin Newsom. My ankles are covered. My ankles are covered, dude. You can't see the socks. You can't see the T1 tattoo. Okay? So we fixed our problems. Yeah, nice crease, fitted, got the watch. It all came together, all right? It all came together. Black shoes, brown suit. How are you guys calling this suit simultaneously tan and brown? It is neither. It is gray. What do you keep? It's gray. There's no other color. It's not like leaning brown. It's not it is 100% gray. It's gray top to bottom. You guys are blue and golding this maybe because of the light from the window in Florida. But I promise you, this suit is 100% gray. It's not, there's no tinge to it. You guys are, it's probably the window light. It's gray. Any hoot. I think we'd meet in the middle and say it's khaki. We absolutely cannot. We absolutely cannot. Okay. So everything in Florida gets the piss filter from 2000s gaming. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Vince Gilligan couldn't tell if it was Mexico or not. So he kept putting the filter up. Not gonna lie, man. That shit makes you look like you time your crossword with an analog stopwatch. What a unique insult. However, I'll say maybe that's the goal. Because upon arrival, my fears were confirmed. I'm going to see if I have a photo that doesn't dox anybody. I tried to take a photo. Okay, this is fine. Let me put this in the slop trough, which is what I call my personal Discord to myself. Let me put this in the slop trough. See if I can pull it up on screen. Okay. Okay. So if I were to grab just like this part. Okay. And then, is that screenshot? Screenshot, you bitch. Screenshot. And then I go to like, I don't know, just paint maybe. Nobody's face is forward. Okay. So here's what I, my fears were that everyone there, and I know this is a shocker to my chat, but I figured everyone there would be older than me. So I wanted to make sure I dressed like I wanted to dress a little older, to be honest, because you have to do like little breakout talks with these people. My fears were confirmed. Here's the photo. Here's like an example I took from near the back of the room. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, like everybody here had like 20, 30 years on me. They were all older than me, bro. They were all older than me. Okay. Some of them had more hair, don't get me wrong, but they were all older than me. And pretty much everyone there worked either in, either in certain industries. They worked in banking. Dude, I got to sit next to a former central banker. I got to sit next to somebody who was one of the 12 votes of the FOMC during 2007, 2008, 2009. It was awesome. He was there during the Great Recession and had to vote on. That was important years. That was really cool. That was really cool. I don't think he would do an interview. He was old. he, was, he was real old. But I got to talk to him, and he was fascinating. So I was, and he was probably the, he actually had to speak for a bit. So I got to see transcripts of his actual things he said. And he was like one of the guys, one of the few dissenting voices that was like, hey, in the depths of this emergency, we can print money and do quantitative easing once. But after that, if we keep doing it, we're going to get addicted. And it's going to lead to a huge surge in asset prices. And nobody listened to him. And they're like, there's like dissenting opinions where he's the only one voting against. He's like, we should not do this again. QE2 should be canceled. And they do it anyway. And so he's like a guy that I really respect. And this guy knew Kevin Wargy, all that stuff. So anyway, it was fascinating. So okay, all right. So everyone there is a little older, and I'm not the youngest person there because, not to dox anybody, but there was one kid. I say kid, but he was like 26. There was one 26-year-old who, like, he managed some of his family's money or something. Like, he was like interested in investing. His parents had given him money to manage, and he was like just trying to like learn shit. And so he was out there. I'm not saying no, baby, but I'm just saying like he clearly had probably a well-off family and wanted to actually learn. Outside of him, I was the youngest person. He was younger than me. Outside of him, I was the youngest person there. It was Barron Trump. Sure, it was Barron Trump. How many people total? Oh, I don't know. It wasn't that many people. I mean, you know, I couldn't. I'm not good at counting. I'm not good at estimating. Not that many. You know, 75 maybe. Am I crazy? Something like that. Less? 50? You know, it filled the room, but 6, 7, probably 6, 7. Did you take a group picture at the end? We absolutely did not. Although, so let me tell you how I thought this would go. Because, you know, I think I'm a charming guy. High key. I think I'm a charming guy. And for my basic goals, I got it done. But so this conference was 2 days. And at the end of the second day, there was the option when you bought your ticket to pay for this bonus. Like they're going to go out on a yacht and just like not talk investing and relax or something. But it was expensive when I bought, and I was like, I'm not going to buy that. Here's what I'll do. I'll be so charming. They'll probably just invite me. Like, it was like a social hour. Anyway, that did not happen. That shit did not happen. That shit did not. No one mentioned that, bro. No one mentioned that. No one brought me on the fucking boat, dude. Everyone got on the boat. I'm not there. Bro really thought. Yeah, anyway. So that didn't work. So I show up. Everyone's a little older than me. It starts out early in the morning. You know, it's like 7:30 a.m. It begins, which is 4:30 my time. Because there's a 3-hour difference. So I'm tired. I wake up and I'm fucking jet lag tired. And there's like a breakfast. Pretty fancy. I mean, all the food, all, you know, the pen, everything was fancy. It was nice. Probably because the ticket costs a lot. Jet lagged on a 3-hour difference. Jet lagged on a 3-hour difference. We have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning is, okay? It's EST revenge. So I get up and I go to this breakfast and I get my food, and then everyone's like sitting in tables and talking. And I realize like this is like a lunchroom where I don't know anybody. It's like, I immediately like walk in with my plate of food that I got from the thing, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people. Like I have to fucking sit down. And you know, many of them have worked in the industry for years. Like they know it, like somebody's like, hey, good seeing you. It's been, I haven't seen you since 2012, or, like we were trading Japanese equities, or, like they just like fucking knew some shit. And I don't know anybody. All right. So, I say, fuck it. I gotta, and I also was like, you know what? Cause I recognize some of the people that I want to ask to be guests, but I'm like, let's not open with that. Let's not sit down at 7:30 at breakfast next to the person I'm trying to talk to. And I was like, I didn't target acquired. Okay. So I just go, I see an open seat at a different table, people I don't recognize at all. I sit down and I introduce myself, Hey, I'm Brandon. Hey, pleasure to meet you. And thank God I did that. Seriously, thank God I did that, because I'm going to dox this guy's first name. I meet this guy, Mike. This guy, Mike, by the way, I mean, he's probably late 40s, maybe earlier 40s. So he's one of the younger guys there. Dude is shredded. He's like, compared to everyone else there, he's like built. Okay, he's like strong. He's got like he's wearing the business casual, but it's. So I meet this guy Mike, and again, he manages money, and he compared to anyone else there, like, is friendly and nice or whatever, takes an interest. We're talking. Once he finds out what I do, like, he's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, well, honestly, I have like a finance related YouTube channel. And obviously, when you first say that, listen, there's this thing, right? And this happens in my real life, not just here. When you tell somebody who doesn't know you that you have a YouTube channel, their first thought is you have 8 subscribers and you live in the basement. Everybody I've ever told this to, you can see it in their face. Their very first thought is like, oh, you don't have any, you're completely, so that's their first thought. That is the first thing they say. And I don't have like a card or anything. I don't have anything. Well, it's fair. I mean, that's probably a fair thing. They probably heard it from other people. But he, for whatever reason, I think I mentioned lemonade stand or something. And I said, yeah, we got signed with Vox and we're doing, and I guess he knew of Vox. So his eyes are like, wait a minute, is this real? He's like, and so he pulls out his phone and he checks lemonade stand. And then he asked me what my personal channel, he checks that. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, this is, he's like, this is real. This is real. Okay. But this is a really good thing. This happening early is a really good thing, because Mike, it turns out, is like a super nice guy. He knows some other people here. And throughout like the day, he's like, he'll introduce me. He's like, hey, come with me. And then he walks over to one of like the main guests and he's like, hey, good to see you. Because one of the guests like banked with his dad, whatever. And Mike's like, hey, I want to introduce you to my friend Brandon here. But my friend, I just fucking knew you. And he's like, hey, yeah, he's like, there's this, you guys might even heard, there's a well-known financial YouTuber named Adam Taggart. He's like, this guy's a young Adam Taggart. But they get that. They get that. And then so like, I don't know, like Mike helped me out a lot, bro. He helped me out a lot. Young, I know, you guys, I know. So anyway, he helped me out a lot with these intros, which is really nice. And because he, gave the vouch, people understood that it wasn't just me with a fucking rinky-dink YouTube channel, like, because I'll be fucking honest, bro. I'll be fucking honest. Like we did that Melody Right interview. Nobody's pulling views like that. Nobody in that room. Okay, if they're doing interviews on podcasts for like fucking 18K views, bro. I'm just telling you, nobody's pulling views like that. Like that. Here's the downside though. Here's the downside. Yes, they do. They're getting fewer views or whatever. But the audience they're getting from is people like them, which is old people that have money to manage, which is who they're trying to target. They don't care about getting a bunch of 21-year-old glizzy. It doesn't get them anything. You know what I'm saying? So they don't like the number doesn't matter as much because they're trying to find people who are interested in finding money to manage. But it means something. Eliminate stand misinformation. Anyway, Mike helps me out a lot, which is really cool. And I introduce myself to the table. And, the conversations are pretty legit, and I'm trying to hold my own, which I think I do, actually. It's a lot of, like, first conversation we're having before, like, the first speaker during breakfast. There's a European guy there at the table, and the table's, like, having a debate over, oh, my God, it's like what happened at the Munich Security Conference, and deficits in France, and and the guy was Swiss. He managed money in Switzerland, and we were talking about the currency. We were talking about, it was like we were going in all this shit, right? Sounds like Atrioc out to me. Yeah, I mean, it's all stuff it was all in my wheelhouse. Nothing I felt super gapped out at. And then, but here's the problem. All right. So I'd say 80%, I'm not even kidding. Maybe 75, whatever. 80% of the people there they're older, but they knew their shit. They were wise. And to be honest, I'd say they were pretty apolitical, more focused on like, what's going to be the best for the portfolio? How do I manage? They were kind of like that. But because it's set in Florida, I feel like there was at least 10% who were obviously fucking chuds. They were obviously fucking MAGA, dude. And like, that is tough. It's tough because it's not what I like to discuss. Only 10%. Well, I'm being honest with you that most people there weren't from Florida. It was people flew in for this. A lot of people were from very far. Again, this guy Mike was from, I'm doxing him, but he was, I'm not going to say where he's from, but he was from a different spot. He was across the country. But you know what was worse, actually? I'll tell you what was worse. When I was flying there, not even at the conference, when I was flying there to Florida, I upgraded my seat because I wanted some fucking leg room. I didn't get like a business class or anything, but I got like the front row, like this row where there's only 2 seats. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I upgraded to this seat. Okay. I get this middle one and I'm next to this guy. And it turns out this was like a prison sentence. This guy right here was the fucking chuddiest chud of all time. Oh no, I was trapped. I was fucking trapped the whole time. And he's a talker. He was a yapper. And, bro, he was crazy. It was yes, Ludwig. No, dude, it was an old guy who kept telling me, I mean, it really was like beyond glazing. Listen, I understand people there out in the world. I'm not here to fucking one by one argue with everybody on their political beliefs. All right, I know it's a big country, but this guy was beyond glazing. He was like saying things like, man, Melania's incredible. He was saying things like, did you know she speaks 14 languages? And she's just beautiful. Like, he was saying, like, just he was like a true fan. He wasn't just like, Trump gets the job done. Because that's what the people, like, if you're at the finance conference, nobody was like out there stumping for Trump. Nobody was like, MAGA, let's go. But they would say things like, yeah, listen, he's a bit of a pompous ass. But he gets the job, he like someone's got to do some of the, it's like that kind of stuff, which is not whatever. It's not what I would agree with, but like I can stomach it. But this guy was not like that. This guy thought genuinely, like he was saying shit like, I think he mentioned Venezuela, and he was talking about how much good was going to come from that. And I just challenged him a bit. I'm not going to argue with this guy, but I like present myself as somebody who they might agree with. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then I'm like, but I've been hearing that like, even the oil companies are like afraid to go in there. Like they're not gonna be able to restart the pump. He's telling me it's going to be billions of barrels a day. And when he realized that I knew about it, because early on he was asking me questions like, do you know what nationalize means? I was like, yeah, I know what nationalize means. And he's like, well, that's what they did. They nationalized these, Exxon was in there and they nationalized it all. And I was like, all right, okay, yeah, I knew that. But so if they did that and the regime hasn't changed, it's Maduro's second in command, why would these oil companies be willing to go back in? Why? And that kind of stumped him. But it's funny. So I see his brain working on it for like 2 seconds. And then rather than engage with my question, which is great, he doesn't even respond. He just switches topics and never stops moving. He doesn't even get angry at me. He just switches topics. It was wild. I thought it might be confronting him, so he'd be like, well, you get huffy. But he didn't even get huffy. He didn't slow down a beat. He just switched to something else. And he did that over and over. And it was like it was unassailable. He really had an unassailable. He talked about I'm trying to think of other things he talked about. There were so many, but I was so bored. And I kept trying to put my headphones on. I tried so many times to put my headphones on, bro. I kept trying to like but he was a talker. How does he have enough money at the conference? This guy was not going to the conference. This guy was just going to Florida. I was bored. Yeah, I was bored. And then I was eventually able to get up and go to the bathroom, which kind of made a break. And I came back with my headphones on and I like instantly fell asleep, but I only slept for like an hour and I woke up and they asked for a drink. I took my headphones off. And then as I was ordering the drink, he jumped back in. He ordered because I ordered like a ginger ale and he ordered fucking bourbon on the rocks. And he gets his bourbon on the rocks and he looks at me, he goes, little slice of heaven. And I laugh at it because that's a funny thing to say. And that's all the in he needs, dude. And that's all the in he needs. And then he's fucking off to the races. He was off to the races. He was talking about how, oh my God, he's talking about how, I think this guy worked, by the way, in like military contracting or missiles or something. Like he travels all the time. He has security clearance and he's just drunk and yapping. He's just drunk and yapping, dude. I'm trying. I guess it's crazy because I was so stun locked by what he was saying, but now in the moment I'm trying to remember specifics. I was just like, I swear to God, at the beginning I was kind of like, kind of playfully engaging a little bit. I don't care. I was kind of like poking and asking questions, but like once it became obvious that he wasn't even really listening to me, he was kind of just speaking. I tuned out and I was going. I was like, yeah, yeah, man, that's crazy. I was giving him a that's crazy and like not even looking his direction, and he didn't stop. He didn't stop. He didn't fucking stop. It was like real torture. Like I couldn't, and it was the whole flight, and I didn't get any real sleep outside of that, and it was crazy. When they keep talking after your third, that's crazy. That's what I'm saying. I'm not kidding. That's what he did. I definitely hit him with 3 that's crazies. Yeah, the only part that I super remember because I thought it was so baffling was when he like pivoted to talking about how great Melania was as a person. That's the part where I remember thinking like, what is going on? What is that? It was completely unrelated, and he just started talking about how beautiful she was and how many languages she spoke. He must have seen the movie. That's when he realized he was a higher intellectual. Yeah, that's fucking true. That's fucking true. That's fucking absolutely true. No, okay, I do remember some parts. I remember some parts. I remember some fucking parts. Okay, because early in the conversation, there was a bit of a rapport because we were talking about, I don't know, maybe it was his kids or something, but we were talking about, how America's kind of fucked up, like right now, economically, especially for younger people. My favorite subject. And I was trying to pitch him. I was like, well, in your lifetime, right? We used to have pretty higher taxes on the top 1%. By the way, this guy wasn't top 1%. So whatever you say about him, this guy wasn't wealthy. He was okay. I mean, he's probably he's a one of the well-off boomers, probably got his house that was up 10x in value, but he's not he wasn't like wealthy. Yeah, maybe like a 180K guy, like doing very well, but he's not like owning a ton of assets. So I'm talking to him and I mentioned that and he goes, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what fucked it up. You ever heard of a guy named Ronald Reagan? He's like, Ronald Reagan comes in and he has this whole trickle down idea. And I'm like, bro, you're spitting. Bro, you're fucking spitting. Absolutely. Like 100%. And he's like talking about how trickle down didn't work. And he's like, but then he just absolutely loves Donald Trump, who is cutting the taxes right now in the Mayfield bill. Like he doesn't, it's crazy. His brain is broken for Trump. He had me in the first half. It was wild. I don't understand. It's always in the first half. So anyway, I mean, I thought this guy would have been a Ronald Reagan super fan, but he voluntarily brought him up and brought up trickle down as a failure. And then, so that's when we started talking more, but then I guess overly engaged because he got off on a fucking tangent about Trump. He's talking about the Epstein hoax? Yes! Okay, thank you for prompting me. Okay, because my brain is just mush. Here's the problem. For the past 48 hours, the conferences are 7:30 in the morning to like 7 at night, and there's speakers almost the whole time, and I've just been filling notepads with notes and trying to take, because they're not recorded. So I've been like just fucking trying to, and I've been, so my brain is frazzled. I'm trying to remember what, so this guy, yeah, he literally said to me, unprompted again, this is one of his topic switches. He's like, and I don't know why everyone gives a fuck about this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It's like, who cares? It's like, and he can't. This is after a couple of bourbon on the rocks, bro. He's like, yeah, he just kept saying, he was like, it's like, we got so many more important things to talk about. And everyone wants to bring it back to this stupid Epstein thing. It was wild. It was wild. It was wild. Is he not planning on having kids? I assume he had kids, but he was old. He was pretty old. You know, he's a little overweight. I'm not knocking him. Whatever. He could have been a nice guy. He wasn't even a mean guy. He just, when it came to Trump, his brain was broken. Did you ask him how good the Dow was doing? I don't think he was like an incredible asset holder. I'm sure he had a 401k that's probably doing well. But I don't know. The sense I got, which is the shocking thing to me, is that he really thought Trump was just killing it in every respect, but especially like overseas. He just thought his tough talk was what the world needed. You know, like and he just really he just felt good about that. Maybe it's the 7 wars that he ended, Board of Peace or whatever. I don't know. Listen, I don't want to talk only about this guy. This guy was not. I mean, it was just really funny because I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating the story. The flight from L.A. to Florida, it's like 5 hours. You know, 4.5, 5 hours, and he talked the whole time. Outside of the maybe 1 hour, 45 minutes, I had a break where I put the headphones on. So like literally 3 hours plus, this guy talked to me. And he got increasingly drunker. Like, I don't even stream that long. Can you imagine talking unprompted for 3+ hours? And by the last hour and a half plus, I'm completely disengaged. That's crazy. Barely responding, not looking at him. And he's still going. He was a machine. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, if you really think about it, I think one of the biggest takeaways is loneliness. If I had to psychoanalyze, and the problem was why I engaged with him too much in the first half, bro. You know, I was chatting it up. I was like talking, and now he couldn't. He was chasing the high. You go live every day. Get the man a phase contract ASAP. I'm lonely too, but I never do that to somebody. I don't want to encourage people to not talk to people. The takeaway is not that if you talk to somebody, you're an asshole. I think there's a tiny amount of room reading you need. And also, you know, if you're meeting a total stranger, going super, super deep on your political beliefs is not, it's not usually the opener. In the first few hours, telling me all the 100 ways you love Donald J. Trump is not the opener strat, bro. That's what I'm saying. If you told me you don't want to talk to me anymore, that's valid. I'm just not that kind of guy, bro. I feel like an asshole. And if I was like gonna leave and never see him again, that moment, fine. But if there's still an hour and a half of the flight left, to be like, hey, I don't want to talk anymore, and then I put the headphones on, and I would have to sit there and think about him seething. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I can't. I can't do that. Yeah, he just didn't have social awareness. Okay, so I'm up on the flight, dude. So I give it to the conference. So, cool thing at the conference. Shout out, you know, because again, at the very beginning of the day with the breakfast and everything, I'm a little nervous. Everyone there knows each other, or they know the speakers or whatever, and they work in finance. And one cool thing that helps me out is that at the hotel front desk, when I'm trying to get an extra key or whatever, the guy working there, big Atrioc fan. The guy that's like telling me the directions to where the conference is and all that, big Atrioc fan, and he pulls out a map and delivers me a speech on where everything is, but he does it with Atrioc references. I'm not kidding. 100%. This guy pulls out a map of the hotel grounds. It's a fancy hotel. And he starts saying things like, and over here is where we have our coffee shop. I know you're going to love that. Because you're a cow for it. And then he's like, and then there's a tennis courts, in case your glizzy hands want to. By the way, I'm not kidding. He had little Atrioc things for all the parts he was introducing to. And then he's like, you might want to Hitman speed run your way over here. I swear, I know it sounds crazy. This is real. This is real. And it's just me and him. No one else at the fucking front desk. So he says that to every guest. He says, you might want to Hitman speed run your way over here. And then he asked me why I was at the hotel. And I was like, well, you know, I'm actually trying to get guests for this thing. And he's like, oh, Marketing Monday, huh? But it's interesting is, anyway, so anyway, that guy, he hit everything. He hit all the key. I mean, the guy was truly tapped in. So shout out to you if you're watching this. But it did make me feel a little more confident, you know, in some way. That I'm bringing something here. And so I met Mike. He introduced me to some people. People are speaking. Listen, I kind of want to break these down into like presentations. So I don't know. I want to blow my notes here yet, but man, yeah, I just wrote a bunch. I mean, you know, each speaker had a different topic and they were pretty fascinating. One of the first ones, okay, was talking about here's one of the key. he was talking about how we are currently right now as we speak in the process. This might be not. I need to break this down in a understandable way, but we're currently in the process of doing as a country massive stealth quantitative easing. We basically had charts and graphs that shows that we're not calling it quantitative easing, but we're doing it to keep the market afloat. We're pumping, you know, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars of liquidity into the markets through the banks to try and, prevent a credit event. And I have some of the charts that I drew. He did say, and he was asked, you know, people were asking him questions about what the Fed should do given our current crazy situation. And he kind of broke it down, but he said, and I wrote this down too. He said, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The solution is so difficult. It will be very, very, very hard for us to do it without enough political pain that gets whoever leader that tries to do it out of office. However, he said difficulty is no excuse for inaction. So yeah, and he did mention the examples of U.S. debt to GDP post World War II, where we actually came together as a country and were able to manage a bipartisan effort to get our debt GDP down from 120% to fucking I don't know what it was, but way, way lower. Like it's been done. It's possible. But the hardest part now is that we're so polarized that we literally can't do it. He talked about, oh, dude, there was one guy, this one, I really want to do a presentation on this one. There was one guy who did an incredible presentation on the ways CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, lies without lying. Basically, he's like, it's not a fraud. They're not making it up. But here are details in the CPI that make it so it doesn't accurately reflect what consumers are feeling. And it was a great presentation. It was fire. And I took as many notes as I could. I'm going to try and do something. I'm trying to yoink it. I'm trying to yoink it, bro. I'm going to try to yoink it because I think it'd be a fire, at least a big A clip. I I think that was fire. I think that was like super interesting. What else? What else? What else? What else? Some of these are just like quotes I wrote. Yeah, there was um Dude, all these are wait, I don't want to I want to use some of these lines. All right, give me a second. Oh, that's interesting. They obviously talked about was Aiden invited this time? No, Aiden was not invited. What would you have done if someone pulled up a stolen Marketing Monday presentation? Dude, I go to a conference, fly across the country, and they're playing a Big A clip. That'd have been fire, dude. That'd have been unreal. How doomer were they on average? It was a mix. It was a range. Different speakers at some of them were very. Some of them were very. I would say the overall, like on the economy, there was a big range of like whether or not, and I'd say most of them were like not worried about 2026. So that's an interesting takeaway, by the way. Most of them, even the most bearish, they were not worried about 2026. And that is because factually, there is an absurd amount of stimulus hitting the market this year. From the big, beautiful bill, from what they're doing to prop up markets before midterms, there's a ton of government spending. And so they were like, if, you know, the cracks are going to appear after that, would say is across the board. But, you know, they were different levels of optimistic. And it ranged. But I would say even the most optimistic person who was a speaker, who was overall on board with like, you know, they made a compelling case about America's geopolitical advantages. Even they weren't able to, you know, they did not have a good handle on how post 2027 might go, you know, just in terms of nationwide polarization, fraying alliances, all, you know, I didn't get an incredible amount of positivity, to be honest. They seem that comes from China investing in Chinese stocks. Not really investing in Chinese stocks. There was a guy who had a presentation about China, and he's, you know, they had a question. They had all the panelists at the end on stage, and they asked him a question about, so let's say someone from the audience asked this question. It was a pretty good question because it was like a geopolitical section. And they were like, all right, let's say the whole world is a giant risk board and all the pieces are set up like the world is today. And you have to pick one of the countries to try to win the game. Who do you think is the most advantaged right now? They were like, who do you pick? And most of the people up there picked America, but there was one guy who said China and had a pretty good compelling reason for it. You know, there's only like 6 people up there, so it's not. And then one guy, so it's probably 4 Americas, and they were varying states of like, they were like, I would pick America, but you know, for a few key reasons because of what they are right now. I don't know how it holds. Like it was, there was one guy that picked China, and then there was one guy that picked Greater Japan, he said, which was in his, he's like, all right, it's not a country because it's not Japan, but he said, if you count Japan, South Korea, India, I think it was like those countries, right? And he was like, not as one nation, you fucking psychos. He's like, this group of nations, this corner, is probably going to be the most prosperous. This block. He didn't say Imperial Japan. He said Greater Japan. Okay. And Taiwan. Yeah, exactly, Taiwan. He said it was Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, India. And he was basically like, you know, they are set up to do really well in this multipolar world. This guy really knew his shit on Japan, really did. He made a compelling case that, you know, for all of the things I've said about Japan being boned, he didn't disagree with those, but he made a compelling case about how, at least, you know, in the near term, that's not going to have any problem for Japanese stocks. And that Japan has some unique advantages in a world where people are trying to diversify out of China for like industrial things. Like Japan right now is like one of the only nations outside of China that can still build nuclear stuff on time and quickly. South Korea can too. And so a lot of countries that are like, oh, I want to get a nuclear, you know, they can't go to China for it. All that tech and all that power and that knowledge. And again, Japan, if you think about it right now, and this is also a compelling theme that I kind of wrote down, is undisputedly America's actual best ally right now, 100%. In terms of like benefit to each other, both they're both tied in a lot of things. And Japan is probably one of the only countries that is actually, you know, when Trump comes out and says they're putting in $1 trillion, they're investing in the country. Japan's the only one whose companies are actually doing not all that money, but some of it. Like there are factories opening up in Tennessee. Where's that? What's other in that area? They're like, I don't know about Texas, but there's a bunch of these factories opening up. Big Georgia, yeah, Kentucky, Georgia, Tennessee, from like Hitachi, Toyota, like all these companies are building factories in America, and there's like 11 billion here, 11 billion here, and it is like a small ember of reindustrialization in America. So I don't know. There's like thought, like these people were pretty in tune with whatever their expert subject was. And Japan's not. Oh yeah, that's another thing. That was a great point. Is that, you know, whatever you think of Takaichi and her her worries about foreigners kicking deer, Japan, unlike most other countries right now, especially, you know, major G7 powers, is not politically gridlocked. Like they have complete and total political alignment. They can get anything passed they want, so they can actually move forward on some stuff. They can actually build some things or make changes. So yeah, there's you know, that was interesting takes for sure. Anything to talk about housing? There, you know, I don't think I had any crazy breakthroughs on housing in that everyone agrees that it's absurdly high priced. There was discussion on what will happen to housing prices, especially coming up. And that is one thing there was a worry about in this year because the housing market has frozen so solidly. You know, transaction volume in housing has gotten to nothing. You know, people are not buying houses at all. And the ones that are dropping out. They're like so it does feel like there will be well, here's what they said. They said, you know, based on that, there should be falling housing prices coming up, right? That's just the way it's going to work. However, that doesn't count for government stimulus. And they seem to think that in a year where there's midterms, there's just no way housing prices fall. There's just no way. Like they will find a way. They will change the rules. They will 50-year mortgage or they'll whatever. They'll do something. Now, there has been in some areas rent falling, rent disinflation. That has been happening, but not absurdly, but it has trickled down. Not the wealth trickled down, but the rents have trickled down. Um, camera's out of focus. Let me see. Kona, thank you for the 30 months. Trump is declassifying aliens. He's trying to one up Obama, huh? Trump says he will release files on aliens and UFOs. Wow. The guy in the plane was right. He's truly the GOAT. Oh, it is about Obama. President Trump said on Thursday he had directed his administration to begin releasing files related to aliens, extraterrestrial life, and unidentified flying objects, only hours after attacking former President Barack Obama for saying that aliens were real. Oh, you know what he's doing, bro. He's like, wait a minute, this might be the one thing these fuckers will be more conspiracy brained about than Epstein. Like, if I can get him off of Epstein, I can. If I can get all these podcasters to talk about, he's probably cooking up some files right now, Obama style. This is stupid. Wait, what? He made a big mistake. This is Obama saying aliens were real, which was a joke, I believe, on a podcast. He took it out of classified information. But he would get Mr. Obama out of trouble by declassifying the relevant documents. That's nice of you. That's kind of you. That's kind of you. What a nice guy. What a friendship. My bipartisan goat. Any comments about Canada? Yeah. I think they weren't. I mean, they gave different people. They had debates up there. Like, the people had different takes. So I can't summarize it as one person's take because I'm writing down notes as two different people debated. But I would say that overall, they were not that. I'm sorry for Canadians. They were not that positive on Canada's. Like, Canada's investability, Canada's geopolitical spot. They were, it's like a tough spot to be in. I wouldn't say they were like, fuck Carney for any political reason. They were just like, yeah, Canada's in a rough spot. That's, Canada's shining light is heated rivalry. Let me tell you something about Canada. On Sunday, Canada competes in the men's gold hockey finals. If they win that, I think the national spirit will rise to a level that'll allow them to rally back. But if they don't, it's going to be a tough time. And they already lost the women's. Dude, if the Canadian team wins men's hockey and then starts kissing each other live on camera as a heated rivalry promo, Canada's back. Canada's back. Okay? If it becomes this national heated rivalry promo, but until then, I would be a little worried. I mean, it's like, there's only, I guess, there's a fair point. There's only so much you can, countries are like gigantic boats that move and turn really slowly. Really slowly. In America's case, they can barely turn at all because of political gridlock. And, they're just basically making the case that Canada's got a lot of challenges that are hard to turn away from. Not that he's not trying. Big A learned a new word from the conference, political gridlock. You think I've never said political gridlock before in 5 years of doing? You think I've never said that? This is the first time I ever. Yeah. All right. Interesting. You learned the word nationalized? True. I did see Zoran and Jake and Amir. That's fire. I thought that was great. Were there any speakers you heavily disagree with? Yeah, there was. There was a speaker, and again, no disrespect to anybody, they're all really smart. There was a speaker I think that was too optimistic. Because there was a range, right? But there was a speaker that was too optimistic about everything. And was saying things like, there are parts of this, there are cities right now where they have 3D printed every house. And the combination of that and nuclear energy and advances in AI, and it's gonna it was kind of like Elon pilled. They were saying things like, I remember a line. This was like not during their presentation. I thought the presentation was pretty good. All the presentations were like with slides and like kind of well researched, but this is like a Q&A thing afterwards. And they were saying something like, listen, if a lawyer, they're like, I know a lawyer friend, if their job is getting replaced by AI, well, that means they can finally follow their passion of painting. And, they're knowledgeable. They're going to find a way to get paid for that. And I was like, how is that a sustainable solution? That person I think was just a little too drinking the Kool-Aid. You got to fix the focus. I just got to sit forward, but I don't want to. Here, let me at this. There we go. What's your favorite question you asked? I only asked like one question. I had a lot of, I discussed, because they had these things where you would have like a breakout at the table and talk about stuff. I talked a lot in there. I was not quiet. But I only asked one question, like up to the stage, and it was about glizzies. May I go to the bathroom? Yeah, I raised my hand and said, "Hey, I got a pee-pee." No, I asked about buy now, pay later. Actually, that's what I asked because. Heading up in, I have a presentation actually. How many slides do I have on this? I got 24 right now, but I asked about rising defaults. Basically, what I asked. I asked about what would the likelihood they thought of a negative credit event from all the rising defaults in auto credit, student loans. What I'm seeing with people churning buy now, pay laters. Klarna stock is falling because default rates are rising. Like, I was like, is there any, contagion from this? And that's what I asked. And I got some, good answers, but I'm working on a presentation. So that one I don't want to overly do. Did you yell VOD frog skip 3 hours when the speaker was getting boring? Every time, baby. Every time. Every fucking time. What was your favorite speech? Well, like I said, I got to sit next to the this former central banker who was there in 2007 and 8. And he spoke. He was one of the speakers. So I got to sit next to a speaker. This was like awesome. It was like a perfect luck for me. And the guy was interesting, and he talked to me, and he also we were like talking about our lives, and he was asking me questions, and I was like, yeah, I was at NVIDIA from 2017 to 2023 or whatever. And he's like, can I touch you? I want some of that luck. He like put his hand on my shoulder. Oh, that was funny. That was funny. And his speech was basically like, listen, the problems we have as a country are not impossible. They're mostly just political. He was like, we could, if you really wanted to. The best takeaway of his was like, right now, we have absolutely no constraints on spending. And because of that, the incentives are that everybody turns the dial to max because they know the problems will go to the next person and the benefits will go to them. And he was like, listen, I'm not, he said, if you say anything like the gold standard or anything, people will call you crazy. It doesn't need to be a gold standard. He said, we could have a debt break like they have in Germany. We could have, a percent of GDP constraint. You could have something, but you need to have something that makes a politician have to make a choice, a trade-off. Do we do this or this with the tax money? And because we don't have that, we are going to hit the wall. We are running at full speed at the wall. I think he had like, he said we're going to have a come to Jesus moment. Because, and they made a really compelling case that the countries that aren't America just simply do not want to hold treasuries when they know we're spending like drunken sailors. Like, as we devalue the currency, nobody wants to hold U.S. treasuries. So they're not rushing out of them, but they are slowly getting out of them. And the direction of travel is what's important. What about the debt ceiling we had? We just get raised every time. Yeah, I mean, again, like the example that he gave, like the German debt break, that is like it was very hard for them to raise. It took like a super majority or whatever. There's also the Warren Buffett idea where if you are running a sustained deficit, you can't get reelected. Like you're just not allowed to run again. He said politicians would figure it out the first time. If you weren't allowed to run for your election, if you had a deficit, like, so there's different solutions. It doesn't have to be something as, old school as a gold standard, but the current way just does not incentivize hard choices. No one has to make a hard choice. And all this debt is pulling from the future. It's making future lives, unless it is invested super responsibly, on productive infrastructure or whatever, it makes future lives worse at the expense of benefiting the present and the boomers. Did you ask him for a dual mandate with JPOW? No, but everyone asked him about Kevin Warsh and what he thought Warsh would do, because he knew Warsh. Like he just knew him from his time in central banking. I think, what did he say? Oh, okay. He said this. This is a good answer. Wait, this is a good answer about Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh, the new JPOW, comes in May. He said, based on what he knows about Kevin Warsh, the new JPOW, Kevin Warsh is going to have to balance this thread of he has to cut rates because of Trump, because Trump would not have given him the job without that. But what he wants to do is behind the scenes cut off all this QE, this money printing. He wants to stop growing the Fed's balance sheet and just buying up. That's what he wants to do, which will be a stealthy way. He said that. I think it's a fair thing. But here's what he said. There's absolutely no way to shrink the government's balance sheet, as in stop this hidden stealth QE, without serious negative effects. Like there's no free lunch on it, right? If you stop doing it, then we'll get things like maybe a certain bank might fail, or maybe there's like a drop in the stock market, or there'll be problems. Negative effects have to happen when you do that. And he's like, I don't know if Kevin Warsh will be able to stomach that politically. That's what he said. He's like, he'll cut rates for sure because that's what everybody wants, but will he be able to actually stop? So that was the question. Um, I showed see the capital structure big banks that are built differently. This was the Steve Eisman argument. I don't know if you saw the Lemonade Stand about this, where I made a counter argument. I would just say, based on the work of Bill Moreland, the banks are using loopholes in the rules to hide rising default rates. And here's how it works. I mean, I'll give you the real simple thing. Is like, you know, let's say a bank, let's say before it would be like a bank and they've taken some of the money and invested it in risky asset. Okay. And then, you know, after Dodd-Frank and the new rules post 08, you can't do this. Or you have to have a certain amount of, you know, tier 1 capital on to balance that or whatever. So, but what the banks have done now is it's like bank and they lend to some private credit middleman, like Blue Owl or something, okay? And then this thing lends to a bunch of risky assets. But this looks good on the books. You know? So like if you look at the bank's balance sheets, like we've only lended to really stable, you know, companies. And then this company is filled with dog shit. And so that's the problem. We talked about Zoran's handling of the deficit. I find it very refreshing. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought, if you guys don't know, Zoran made a video about his New York budget, and it was very rare for a politician to do that, where he basically said, this is how much we need. This is the gap. The way I'd like to fill it is by raising taxes on the rich, but I can't do that because I need buy-in from the state. So if they don't do that, then I'm going to raise property taxes. And the only problem is, I really like the honesty. I hope it works for him. The problem is like raising property tax, if you don't pick like just wealthy districts, is going to cause people's rents to go up like a lot. And they're not going to listen. They're just going to be mad. They're going to be mad. And then like, I think his strategy would work if people heard what he's saying and got mad and put pressure on the state governor to allow him to raise taxes on the wealthy. But if he doesn't get to do that and he has to just raise property taxes, then I think he might be in a politically bad spot. It's the only thing he can do. No, I don't listen, I appreciate him being upfront and honest and explaining it. I just, if they just stonewall him, then he's like in a spot where either he doesn't deliver on his promises because he won't have the money, or he only gets the promises by raising property taxes. And that, again, I don't know how he plans to do that. I think there's a way you could do that where it hits wealthier districts. But if you don't, people are going to get really pissed because it's going to cause rents to go up. So I don't know. Or you can take the federal government and not care about deficit. Yeah, that's why I really appreciate what he's doing, but that's why people don't do it. I guess I'm hoping it works for him. I really am. He's being honest about the budget and what he wants to do and how he has to make the money. What a normal politician would do is lie, promise a bunch of things, and then fill the gap with borrowing, which makes the city more in debt and it makes the problem bigger for the next guy. That's what most politicians would do. He's not doing that, but this is why it's hard. Stock guy says raising taxes on rich doesn't work. They need to go tax loopholes where they go pay tax like Elon. It's really both. It's really both. Again, I encourage you to take a look at America's most prosperous middle class age, where we had a top tax rate of really high, 70+%, at the highest level. And even if they didn't always pay that full amount, they got around it by actually spending the money or investing it instead of just hoarding it. But yeah, I do agree. Like, enforcement is the biggest thing. It's very, it's damaging to the system. It makes people who have money incentivized to try and cheat taxes, because if someone else does, they have a huge advantage. If it's very easy to cheat, then you're almost an idiot for not doing it. Like, you need to patch up the loopholes and make it so everybody's paying the same rate at that tax bracket. I think the buy, borrow, die thing is the biggest thing they got to fix. This update that Musk gave on Optimus robots. So this is so stupid. This is classic Elon just making up numbers, bro.
It's probably world's biggest product, because there's at least a market for probably 20 billion. It could be 50 billion. I don't know, line. So, hypothetically, if Tesla was making 1 billion of these a year at scale, and at scale, the cost gets lower and lower. So maybe it'd be like on the order of $50,000. I'm just guessing here. And, that's 30 trillion in revenue.
Insane.
The Glazer responding insane is the best part. Holy, he's a genius. Imagine if I sell 20 billion robots, maybe 50 billion robots, I don't know. And if I make 30K in profit on each one, I'd make 30 trillion. Holy shit, he's a genius. You just make it up. You just made it up, bro.
That's a long way to go between here and making 1 billion robots a year.
Yeah.
Perseverance. That's fucking. Can I ask how you'd fix buy, borrow, die? Is it working to fix estate taxes? I mean, yeah, I do think fixing estate taxes. I think the step up basis on death doesn't make sense. You know, but I'm sure there's someone with a more expertise take on it. It just needs to be fixed. Like we can't keep ignoring it. Ignoring it is so stupid. Did you hear any good one-liners in the comments? I heard a ton of good one-liners. I wrote a bunch of them down. I heard a ton of good one-liners that made me go, oh. Like what's the meme of the guy with the laptop with Drake? It's Future. Or is it Yachty? Or is it okay? It's Yachty. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yes. There was definitely some lines. Dude, my handwriting fucking sucks though. I need to like really start breaking this. Oh, dude, there was some stuff about China that was like blowing my mind. Like, okay, well, let me see if I can break this down. Wait, this was crazy. No, actually, give me a day on this. I don't want to do this sloppily. Let me just take me a day. Let's talk about other things. What else is going on? Let's talk about Kaz. Thank you for the prem. Let me see if there's any more stories. So, what else happened at this conference aside from meeting people? I introduced myself. Oh yeah, so I finally go up to one of the guests. This is like the dinner area. You know, it's like dinner and drinks after the conferences. And I introduce myself. I get the perfect opportunity. And I chat up this person. I'm talking. I say, hey, I talk about their presentation. I ask a question, but I don't make it too like businessy. Just like question I had, and they answer, and I go, oh, interesting. And I go, hey, listen, I've got this channel, this YouTube channel, and I show them, you know, so they can see that it has views. And I'm like, listen, it's probably not your usual audience. You know, it's not who you're usually talking to. It's a younger audience, but they're all very interested in finance. And I think they're hungry for real insight. And, you know, there's a lot of people trying to sell them things and give them bad advice. And so, you know, if you're interested, I'd really love to interview and ask you about some of the things you said. And it worked. It fucking worked with the first guy. He was like, you know what? Yeah, 100%. And then he gave me his email and he's like, contact me and we'll make it happen. So that guy was easy. Second person I got introduced to by that guy, Mike. Mike introduced me. And so it was easy. It was a warm open. They also said yes. Boom. Done. Third person, I caught up to as everyone was leaving, like on maybe it was day one. I saw them like getting water out in the hallway, like getting a bottle of water outside of the thing. And I go out there and I walk up and I introduce myself and I grab a water and I give the pitch and they could not be less interested. They weren't interested from minute one. And and then so I tried. I was like, you know, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass here. Like there's a legitimate audience here, and I think and they go, oh yeah, no, I don't think so. You don't you don't have to pitch me. You don't have to pitch me. Yeah, it sounds interesting. Why don't you send an email to my people and you know, we'll figure something out. They said something like that. But like they didn't even give me the email of their people. And then as I'm like, you know, we're both walking away in the same direction. And the second this person realizes they're walking in the same direction as me, they go, oh, I forgot something. And they turn around just to not walk next to me. Oh. Oh. It was a disaster, bro. It was a disaster. So 2 out of 3. I got 2 out of 3. That one was no good. But here's the thing, shoot or shoot, bro. And here's the thing, if I end up getting this person, I'll tell you afterwards that it was the person. Because I think I'm still gonna do it. I think I'm still gonna do it, bro. Here's the thing. I didn't show this person the YouTube channel. I just sort of started going into the pitch. My honest take is that the people who expressed no interest just thought it wasn't real. I think he thought I was like, trying to get off the ground. I still get that vibe. I think they were like, I'm trying to start my YouTube channel. And I'm the younger guy there. I'm sure they thought like, once I get somebody else, it'll be a lot easier. Once I have more guests. Should have said you interviewed Gerald Ford. We famously haven't. It's the biggest weakness of the show. Just start by saying 300K views. You can't open with that because it sounds whack. It sounds whack. Hey, I get 300K views. And then you can say, like, the way I was also, it's also way low. Bro, you're fucking smoking crack if you think anyone in that room ever got a YouTube video with 300K views. Ever. You think any of these hardcore finance guys get more than 20K on it? You're smoking crack if you think. These MFers go on podcasts like TVPNs, like exactly, bro. But again, they, for them, it's like the audience. Did you ever get back to Andrew Ross Sorkin? We hired a guy. The Lemonade Stand team grew by 1. We got somebody to, it's not just for guests, but they just need to manage all of our communications because we got somebody to just fucking. You actually pay him? Yeah. Their job is literally just email. Basically, yeah. It is literally just email. So make sure all of our emails are not missed and are answered instantly for Lemonade Stand. New Almost Friday. It's so peak. You guys make a little finance break and watch this. Almost Friday. Okay, let's do that. Daddy. You need to watch this video, it's called.
Daddy, are we gonna finish this when you get home?
Oh my god, of course we are. Are you kidding me?
Yay!
She's been talking about this all day. You'll be home at 5, right?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Love you.
Hey, have I showed you Scott Proxy before?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, dude. All right, we're going to watch one of his videos right now.
What does he do?
Here, just watch. You're going to love it.
What up? This is day 1 of living on.
I already hate this. I already hate that. You can't do this. You can't hold the phone up and make somebody watch a YouTube video. Doesn't matter what it is. It can't be anything. No.
the beach until Tom Brady throws me a football. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but if any of y'all know Tom Brady, tell him to holla at your boy. Well, it's a pretty quiet day over here. Not much to do. I might dig a hole.
Does he just like dig holes or?
No, just here, watch.
Yeah, Scott Proxy's out.
It's a quickie, man. Just watch, man.
Hey, do you know Tom Brady? Shut the fuck up, kid. Do you know Tom Brady?
It's only been. This is us every Get Smarter Saturday. You guys pick the videos on Get Smarter Saturdays. You guys pick the videos. If anything, this is me. This is me when you guys fucking make me watch like some horse shit, dude.
It's hilarious, right, man? You like it? Yeah. Great, man.
Maybe if we go down to the water, the sand near there is a lot
Like
more
I had to watch
dense.
the Cars lore video. Remember that? Or 9 hours of Bionicle. Remember that? Or when I have to watch like, did LeBron James change Constantinople? Or I had to watch all that shit.
Water pack, so
How much longer
it'll
is
be
this?
easier
Just
to
watch.
dig with. So drop wet sand in the
What,
comments if you
Minecraft
actually made it this
Civilization?
far.
Fuck it, man. Comment.
Sorry, I'm so bored. What if I try meditating? Yeah, that'll do the trick. See if I can just drift into my thoughts.
Daddy, can we play?
Of course we can, sweetie.
Can we make the house red?
I think that's a great idea.
Hey, man. But, what are we doing here?
No. No. No, 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 no.
Poppy squad, man.
How did you get in?
Shh. Quiet, man.
Hey, I can't do this.
Just watch, man.
You'll be home at 5, right?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. But we can finish this when I'm home tonight.
I don't mind rewatching it with you.
See you guys soon. See you guys soon. See you guys soon.
Where is he? What is he doing?
He's watching Scott Proxy videos of his friends. We'll be home soon.
Scott Proxy, the go.
Hey, you missed it, man.
Why didn't he understand?
Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's. I've never seen that. I've seen people try to show someone a video, but they back tap if you look away. I do that. I really have done that. Oh, you guys are freaks, bro. You guys are freaks. I was talking to that 26-year-old at the conference. I forgot. Let me tell a quick story. There's the one guy younger than me, so I like talked to him. He didn't know about my channel, which, by the way, you're a 26-year-old guy addicted to finance. You never heard of Big Egg. Get some culture in you, bro. Anyway, he hadn't heard of my channel. This is fine. But we're chatting. You know, I like the guy. He's vibing. He's telling me the story. The day 2, he comes in, and when he sees me at breakfast day 2, he goes, "Big A!" Because he looked up my shit overnight. It was like, he's like, "Bro, you interviewed Gavin?" He like deep dived overnight, and then he was more comfortable because on day 1 he was acting kind of like, you know, buttoned up. Day 1 he was talking about finance and asking questions, but on day 2 he was like, because once he knew I was a YouTuber, he's like, "Big A," and then he's like, he's like, "Do you think Gavin Moggs?" I was like, "Bro, chill. we're like 20 years younger than everyone here. We gotta fucking just chill. Let's fucking chill. So
I don't
brain
know,
rot is
sweetie.
quick.
I mean, it's just more of that anyway, so. Sorry.
Dude, even that's
I'm
too
gonna
much.
go home.
You watched 18 minutes of a YouTube video?
I want to go home.
Okay.
Too long for
Great
GSS.
hanging, man.
What?
We're gonna hang again.
Sure.
Great. I love you, man. Scott Proxy.
Do you know Tom Brady?
Oh, that's funny. Love me some Scott Proxy. Just the GOAT YouTuber, honestly. Honestly. Oh my God, wait a minute! You fuckers! We haven't even talked about the biggest story! Wait a minute! Slay the Spire 2! They announced it comes out in 2 weeks! Slay the Spire 2! Wait, is gaming back? 500,000 views in a few hours. The lengths Trump will go to bury the Epstein story, like dropping the Slay the Spire 2 trailer, are incredible. He's really pulling out all the stops, bro. Mega crit. Some cards. So is it new? I'm gonna play the absolute shit out of this. I'm gonna play this game so I think I'm gonna talk with my wife. This is in like 2 weeks, bro. So, when do I go to China? I think I go to China mid-March. 19th, 17th, something like that. So between then and then, I'm just gonna I'm not canceling the trip. Honestly, I'm gonna play it on the flight so much. Maybe I'll play it with Xi Jinping. Co-op Slay the Spire 2 with Xi Jinping? Is that not a stream of the century? Anyway, yeah, I'm definitely gonna play this with Ari co-op. Anyone else that wants to play a co-op, I guess, and then I'm also gonna play. It on stream a lot, just straight up. If there's like an Ascension, I'm gonna try and beat Ascension 20. That's my goal. I'm gonna fucking just grind it. It sounds fun as shit. I truly love Slay Spire, one of my favorite games of all time. Have you seen this Lex Wexner clip? What's this?
And personal work for the Rothschild family in France. Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family, so there had been a whole bunch of people. I mean, most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. Answer the question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question. Okay.
Is this? I mean, that's so blatant that it feels like a joke. Or I don't know if it's AI, but it's just. But that's a funny meme. Yeah, it's a funny meme template. I don't think it's AI. I just think like he's more joking than he's like. That's just what that's a lawyer joke. Lawyers make that joke all the time. I'm not defending Lex Wexner. I'm just saying it's not like holy fuck, caught in the act. That's just what lawyers. That's the lawyer shit. Looks like he's the right age. I think he's almost old enough to be president. He's certainly enough of a pedophile, but he's not quite old enough. If he was a little older, he could be a perfect president. We have 2 key boxes you have to check. Because we need somebody. You're giving him the benefit of the doubt on that? I'm just saying I'm not conspiracy. Like, I don't think the lawyer is part of a secret Rothschild network. And he's trying to, I just think that's not I don't think that's what's happening. I think the lawyer is just saying, shut up and don't say anything that could ever implicate. Like, the lawyers always want them to say nothing because that if you just say no comment or you say, I plead the fifth, or you say, that's just normal lawyer shit. Who dat told me that when I was doing the fucking ACLU negotiations. He said, stop talking. Yo, Atrioc, I recently noticed that the cost of housing has become common small talk among people at my uni in Seattle. Someone will say, man, the cost of living sure is high nowadays. And then everyone goes in a circle and says how expensive their area has become. Yeah, it's everywhere. Everyone says that. It is expensive. So everyone says that. That's the united topic. People, honestly, it's probably more, if that's uni, people are more doing it older because people at uni aren't buying a house yet. People that are trying to buy it, like if you're someone who's like in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're working maybe like a white collar job, all people there do is talk about how fucking insanely expensive it is to buy a house near work. That's all they talk about. They talk about how fucking impossible it is, how like, it's like probably one of the top 3 topics. They talk about, different ways to get around it, or like how they're going to live far away and figure out commute, or they're going to whatever. They talk about all that stuff. All my coworkers are older, talk about their mortgages, and it's like half my rent. Their mortgages are half your rent? That's crazy. Usually mortgage is higher. That's crazy. What are you renting for? Maybe if they got a really, really low interest rate. If you get a house now, your mortgage is higher. The interest rates are much higher. No, Carvana's CEO was interviewed on CNBC today. Sheesh. Oh, Board of Peace. I mean, all I got to say about the Board of Peace is that it is a truly brave thing from our great leader, Donald J. Trump. Holy moly. The Board of Peace, bro. Where's that chart of the Board of Peace flags? Does anyone have it? But the big news was that, like, the United States government is transferring $10 billion to the Board of Peace for Trump to use as he wishes. A $10 billion commitment from the U.S. to the Board of Peace initiative. Like, where's that coming from? She's gonna say tariffs like every time. Somehow tariffs have paid for every possible thing, despite being a tiny, tiny portion of our already fucking massive deficit. We just keep saying tariffs. BNPL that shit. Are you guys willing for us all to pitch in? Hey, Shark, what do you think of local trains, NYC, DC, Chicago versus interstate high-speed rail, Amtrak, Brightline? Moved to DC and thinking that local city-based trains are way more important than longer-distance rail? Bro, this is like an insane amount of pickiness. I'll take either one. Bro, put any fucking train on the fucking track. Why am I don't care. Why I gotta pick? I gotta be like, don't give me that one. Let's just start building some rail. I do think that I've heard some convincing arguments that the U.S. geography is not super well suited to nationwide high-speed rail, in that there'd be a lot of lines that don't get much use. But I do think the coastal rails being high-speed and upgraded is awesome. Like, Seattle to LA to San Diego to Vegas, incredible use case. All of the East Coast is incredibly dense. There should be rail all through that. The cross nation rail, maybe you have one or something, but it's just not as. There's like these segments of big hubs that should be connected. There's also like Chicago to something to something. There should be a rail network there. Like, that stuff will get tons of use. Yeah, Texas Triangle. Chicago to New York, all that stuff. Yeah, 100%. Like that would be incredible use of high-speed rail. But like a single connected network across the whole country, first of all, I mean, what are we talking about? We're not even close to it. But I think trying to get some of these key, well-used routes created so that people use it and see the benefit, then it'll allow us to get more. We just need one charismatic strong man to make it happen. So true. You can call them the Trump trains. You can call them the Trump trains, bro. Just build them. Just give me some trains. We got 3 years left. Just make a fucking Trump train. Make it gold if you want. Just put a fucking train up. Supreme Court ruling on tariffs tomorrow? They might. They keep delaying it. They might delay it tomorrow. I'm sort of waiting and seeing. It feels like such a big decision. They just keep punting. I don't. We'll see. Supreme Court is just a bunch of unemployed losers. They are employed. That's their job. I get what you're saying in theory. They're employed for life. They honestly have it so easy. I'm not such a fan of that employed for life thing. I don't. We got some. I think, Pete on Lemonade Stand was making some good points about term limits and employments for life and all that stuff. It all bad incentives. Bunch of stoners talking about philosophy all day. We should have that. We should have the high council, but they're like that kind of high, and we just get our nation's best stoners to get high on the daily, and then every 2 weeks we have to just check in and see what their thoughts are. They've got any crazy? We'll call it Lemonade Stand. That was quick. When are you getting Aiden Calvin on the pod? I think he'd be a good guest. I don't know about that, bro. He might just talk about fucking Sweden and Swedish immigration for an hour. That might be his main topic. And a CSGO knife-based economy? Yeah, maybe. I live in Ottawa, and our semi-pro hockey team is the 6-7s. There's been a surge in ticket sales because the kids are going mad with the hands now. Are you joking? Ottawa 6-7s? Oh my God, it's real. Dude, the Ottawa 6-7s? That's so funny. All teams should start naming themselves after memes to get the ticket boost, dude. We need like the Texas frame loggers. Yeah, we need like the Florida State skibbities. The LA Rizzlers. Holy shit. I would definitely go to an LA Rizzlers game. Wait a minute. This is actually what it's gonna be in fucking 15 years. Holy, the LA Rizzlers. Let's go, Rizzlers. Wait a fucking minute. Oddly relevant tweet. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. Brain rot night? Baseball brain rot night? 6-7, leave your brain at the door and pay your phantom tax? It's brain rot night at the Blue Wahoo Stadium? We're celebrating all the things that you see scrolling your phone when you should be reading a book, talking to your family, or touching grass. Skibbity on down to the ballpark, rizz up your moots like your baby Gronk, and get ready for a night of baseball maxing. That's horrible. That's horrible, dude. There's a girl next to me on the flight back today. Just fucking scrolling. You know what she did? Okay, is this a normal thing? Is this a fucking Zoomer thing? Younger Zoomer thing? She scrolls TikTok. Every single thing she scrolls through, she likes. She doesn't even watch it all the way. She scrolls, likes, scrolls, likes, scrolls. She's not even watching the full thing. It was like before she scrolled, she just like, but she's not even finishing the video. Why do that? It was psychotic. It's such a bad habit. My algo is fucked. I don't fucking get it. She didn't even clearly like it because she wouldn't fully watch it. She wouldn't even fully watch it. It'd be like somebody dancing or something. She'd like skip. It doesn't make any sense. She double tapped the like or pressed the like. She pressed the like button. She pressed the like button every time. The little heart on the corner. She didn't double tap. She'd be like looking at it, and she would like get an idea of what it is, like it with her thumb, then scroll. What the fuck does that? That is psycho. I guess someone made a good point. Theoretically, it could have been, I guess it could have been IG Reels, and it was people she knew. I mean, how else would you like everything? Yeah, I didn't get a close enough look to see fucking if it was TikTok or IG, but she's just a positive person. Yes. I like everything because the algo is dialed. you're just locked in. Okay, if the algo's dialed, you don't need to like everything. You're already good. Are you just liking to let the algo know? Keep it up, baby. Good job. You got to keep it dialed. Okay, you know what it maybe is? Think about it. When you scroll away from something early, you're telling the algo you want less of that. But maybe she likes her algo, so she likes it to counterbalance the fact that she's got no attention span. So she wants this stuff, but she can't watch 15 seconds of anything. So she just likes everything. And is there something to that? There could be something. We just burned down all short form content. Fucking start by not watching it, bro. But yeah, it's terrible. My TikTok is unironically all 10-minute long woodworking videos, and I have to do that. That's your entire algorithm. You could just go on YouTube and find an hour-long woodworking video. What? By the way, why are you getting bored of one so you're liking it so you don't lose the algorithm and then scrolling to the next 10-hour woodworking video? I don't like if you why are you skipping? If you know the next one is going to be better wood. I like when TikTok knows what I want to see. They get my ass every time. Yeah, bro. You are the ideal consumer. Yeah, that's exactly what they say. Yes. That's the whole business model. Mine is Reddit story. Oh my God. Wait, you have one of those algos where it's just a AI voice reading a Reddit story and it's like Minecraft jumping? It's like God stood up at the altar. I was, you know, that's your fucking algo? That's slop, bro. That's true bottom of the barrel slop. I got the proper algo, Minecraft parkour, Reddit text stories, and Subway Surfers on the top. That's old school. It's slopper cinema. My TikTok algo is just the We Are Charlie Kirk song. Oh, man. I haven't really used TikTok. I don't know what my algo would be. I use shorts if I have to brain rot. This is Willem Dafoe going goblin mode on Pedro Pascal.
Pedro. Educated. You don't know what you're talking about.
Why is that? Why is that? There's a Squeaks video. There's an ad. POV, you walked into a corporate meeting of people who make 10x your salary.
Regular calendar constraints we're being forced to navigate. Right, so it's...
Yeah, so important element, Dad. So important. I think with February, it really starts with just heightened time awareness around that reduced execution bandwidth, right?
Yeah, if I could just piggyback on
Yeah, go ahead.
without getting into the weeds, I think what we're dealing with here is a length disadvantage time cycle. Yes, right. So yeah, just kind of stitch that together.
Hey, that's actually pretty funny. Hey, that's actually just pretty funny. We're watching a grown man scroll TikTok. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you hated peak content. My dad is becoming into AI videos about random products. Oh my God, wait, did I tell you? I asked my dad before I did, because my dad likes Pete Buttigieg. And I asked him, I was like, hey, do you have any questions you'd want me to ask Pete? Because we're getting him on the pod. And my dad chat GPT'd some questions. We're fucking cooked as a society. My dad, I told his story. I was on the podcast around here. He chat GPT'd it, bro. He sent me what is the most effective way for Democrats to win rural and industrial communities that feel abandoned by the current economy? My dad thought he thought he was slick, bro. You thought he could write that? Fuck off. I've spoken to my dad my whole life. I've texted. We can scroll up in your text. You've never written like that. Even the grammar. It's insane. Like the way. Holy shit. Thanks for the gifties. Dyslexic frog. Did you call him out on it? I did, but not over text. I called him out on a phone call with my mom. And he was in the background. So I just heard her laugh at him, but I didn't. My dad will not stop sharing AI dancing baby videos in the personal family group chat and gets mad we don't all heart it. He gets mad when you don't all heart it. He checks the number of hearts to see if everyone in the family hearted his dancing AI baby. Dude, we're cooked. And we're all cooked, bro. Everyone's fucking cooked. Everyone's millennial dads go wild. He's a millennial? Wait, how old am I? Wait, you guys have millennial dads? What are we talking? You can't have a millennial dad. How young are you? My dad's on a millennial, my dad's turning 50. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought. That's what I thought, bro. There was some good shit at the conference about you know, how much of our tax money goes to boomers. That was a good part of that. Oh, there was some interesting shit about the end of the reserve currency in Britain around World War II, where Britain went from the reserve currency to not. There was interesting thing like what happened around that. There was, oh, dude. Oh, wait, there was such a fire quote. Okay, I wrote this one down. Somebody said, interest is undefeated against empires. I thought that was a fucking fire line. He just said it so casually, and it was like, damn, that was fucking, his writing is this fire. And he was like talking about different examples in history where, you know, the interest payment on other debt catches up to him. It's really interesting. I think a really interesting video would be looking at the 11 months leading up to the French Revolution, because every story leading up to it is pretty much economic. And, you know, like the central bank of France runs out of money 11 months out. And then, you know, they have like this freeze on the crops, and you know, it's there's just a lot of interesting lineups to that. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. Listen, guys, I might wrap only because I'm actually kind of fucking tired. I'll be honest with you after flying. And I just wanted to go live, get back into the theme, but I want to talk about the Prince Andrew stuff. But I know CoffeeZilla made a video. I have some stuff that I don't think is in his video. I only got to watch the beginning, but I think I have some stuff that he didn't talk about that I want to do. So I have a separate subject, but I might just wrap it tonight and wait fun SNL skit to end stream. You guys have been pushing this SNL skit all stream. When did we have an SNL based chat? I thought only elder millennials like SNL. Coming, but I'll watch it. For me. It's too millennial even for me, bro. You're overwhelming my. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. All right, let's see if there's anything else I did want to mention in this chat. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow. I do have stuff I want to say, but I'm actually just tired, man. I'm real fucking tired. I did not sleep a lot in Florida because of the early call times. There was those Chinese robots which were crazy. I will say, man, if I had to give you one, I don't know. The guy that was talking about China made some pretty compelling points at the conference. And I will say his points were like, listen, China's making plenty of mistakes too, but they're in a position where they basically just have to not do anything egregiously bad. Like if they just do nothing, our mistakes are compounding so much faster that it's giving them a massive advantage in like 10 industry. Like it's like snowballing. And so it was actually kind of disconcerting because the guy was not like pro China anyway. He was like he's like, I grew up a Boy Scout, I'm American, like, but he's just being honest about how I had a line here, but he was like, there's just dude, I forgot how he phrased it. It was like a veil of delusion, or like we just are lying to ourselves about how hard or long it's going to take to do some things, like to rebuild a rare earth industry and to reindustrialize and to like these things that he's like, we should do them. They're good goals, but they're going to have, first of all, pain in the short term and take a while. And we're acting like we could just spring it up in a year and a half. He called it the Great Pretend. It's like it took China 30 years for this stuff. They poured more cement in 10 years than USA did in 100. And we're acting like we're going to just, it's just, so anyway, a lot of stuff to talk about. There will be a stream tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow's what? Tomorrow's Friday? Yeah, for sure. Ideally, a longer stream. I have a couple PowerPoints I think I can finish. And it'll be a little more structured today. Today was a little bit yapping. I'm sorry. I just got home. I just got back. I flew 6 hours. I drove in LA traffic for an hour. I got here. I ate a bite to eat, and then I went live. So I'm going to go live tomorrow and have some sleep and be better. Guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Oh, Lakers play tomorrow night? No, they don't. You lied. It's the All-Star break, right? Oh my God, they play tomorrow night, Clippers. I will watch that. I'll go live early then. I'll go live early then. Hey, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the subs. Goodbye. Good night. Good luck.